Hello, welcome to Texas Alone with Miguel, your source for Red Pill Truth. Today we are going to discuss for the men section, all right, for the men. You know, the boys out there that are just, living under their parents' roof, living with someone, depending on someone else to take care of them. Yeah, we're talking about those boys. We're talking about those guys, those fellas. Because what's going to happen is, I tell you what, you think the economy has gotten rough. Huh. We ain't seen nothing yet. And too many people are buying PlayStation 5s, Nintendos, Wii's, Microsoft Xbox. We're buying all kinds of goodies. Gaming and gaming while the economy's in a really, really tough shambles. And men just, now we have an epidemic of boy boy men, or adult boys that are refusing to grow up. All right, they're refusing to grow up. They're refusing to let their masculinity shine. Wow, this economy is in the shambles right now as we speak. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this um, image, this here. I'm gonna pull up Reddit. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up Reddit, and this is gonna be a fairly long. This is gonna be a fairly long video. So I'm gonna go ahead and you know. So I'm going to, I just writing a little message to letting others know what I'm doing, okay, on this video podcast. Men, I'm going to tell you this. We do not live in the 1950s. So for you to expect the other person to cook for you and all that good stuff, and anyways, this is posted by Danielle Ag 2 years ago. Men should know how to cook, clean. Women should know how to fix tires, maintain maintenance on their cars and stuff. The amount of hate that I get for saying this is surreal. Many of you adult human beings can't look after yourself. See, basically what this person is actually saying is people had everything done for them, hand over fist. I mean, I could change the oil, I could change the tires, I could do all the maintenance. Since being disabled, my disability has gotten the best of me over the years. I'm not trying to make excuses. Listen, 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 listen. When the person ages, they can only do so much. Do you get it? So you get somebody that's 20 years old, 18, 19, 20. Let me tell you what I was doing when I was 18, 19, 20. I did everything that described here. Well, I bought me a game console. I grew tired of it. I got out of it. I didn't want it no more. It was taking too much of my time. Okay? It was useless, basically. Now, what are you even doing then? adult skills should be categorized as sexist. I literally know men who don't even know how to do their own laundry or make a simple soup. I also know women who have zero skills in replacing wiper blades, crying over not knowing how to work with a lawnmower. Whoa! So maybe this title should be directed to both men and women alike. I know you're going to have some old feminist nut job that's going to come up here and say this video is sexist. I tell you what, to those who want to talk about feminism, I tell you what, to these strong and independent, I don't need a man type women, I tell you what, why don't you call National Organization of Women, have them send somebody in that chapter to help you change a flat tire, to help you do oil maintenance, oil changes. Of course, you gotta get your hands dirty. Hey, you weren't handed a birth certificate saying that you're supposed to have a nice little cozy job where you don't do anything that everybody else gotta do. Then you turn around and look down on people. Huh? You want equality. You got what? You got what you asked for. Stop looking for, no, let's continue on. Stop looking for a partner who can do things you never learned to do and do it yourself. It'll take you maybe 2 Google clicks. You're an adult. Get your stuff together. Okay, edit. Okay, I needed to say this post was meant for people in a balanced relationship marriage. It was mostly meant for singles who live alone. Thank you. There are singles who live alone and they're not looking for a relationship. They're actually looking for help. They're looking for somebody to save them, but they can't even save themselves. The more skills you learn as a single, the less pressure you have in your next relationship. Bingo! I would also recommend people in relationships still learn many skills because it comes in handy sometimes. You should at least try before you can say that you don't know how to do it. Amen. Let's give him a hand. Let's give him a hand. Now, okay, now, IMO, every gender should try to achieve self-sufficiency as best they could. Whether it's car mechanics or making mac and cheese or even sewing, you get the point. Amen. But by self-sufficiency, I don't mean you should try to learn flying an airplane or piloting a ship so you get your package from AliExpress by yourself. Now, that right there, no, but yeah, that's a little off base. Now, I don't know who this person is. They deleted their profile 2 years ago. Then why you put your car mechanic and sewing in there though? Cooking is an everyday thing unless you're rich. Amen. You can't have a cook make everything for you. So basically it's a requirement. Amen. Car mechanics, however, is a field that a lot of people specialize in. You don't need it very often. Well, changing the oil, changing the air filter, those are pretty much it's pretty much what he's talking about. Changing your own tire. Now, I just want to go ahead and talk about this. Now, get you a book or a little notebook, and you can sit here and write down how many times you fill up your vehicle. Write down the miles. Write down how much it costs. Write down how much it costs for that fill up. And keep a log on how much you spend monthly in fuel costs. This gives you an idea on how often you need to commute and how to cut back on unnecessary wear and tear on your vehicle, so to speak. So, there's the basic things on the car we all should know how to do, like changing wiper blades, changing headlights, checking the oil. Heck, even changing the oil is not too complicated on most vehicles. Ask for more sewing. If people knew how to do men garments instead of throwing them out, if people had an appreciation for a few quality pieces of clothing instead of a horde of cheaply made stuff, we might have less waste and pollution from the textile industry. I like popular obscurity. This here is pretty good. Then there's the idea of knowledge and satisfaction in doing things yourself, but general public has lost a lot of that knowledge. So yes. So if people knew how to mend garments instead of throwing them out. Okay, the problem is this appearance. And I don't know if you noticed, but most majority of the people in the United States are fixated on trying to outdo each other by buying high dollar garment, trying to outshine each other, which is competing with the Jones, basically. If you can actually, this is what I do typically. I would go out and buy me some pocket t-shirts from a local retailer. If it has a hole in it where you stick your thumb in it, if a man can stick a big thumb through it, I throw it away. I'm not going to reuse it because if it's going to start tearing in one area, it's going to be tearing in other areas because the fabric's been used so many times and it's got a shelf life. I made it that way. It's made out of a cotton material, so to speak. Now, the problem is, okay, I'm not wearing a piece of clothing where you can see it had to be fixed. Sure, it can be fixed conveniently from inside. Seam tear, fine with me, but otherwise, hell no. But now, to me, it's cheaper to throw it away and replace it. I mean, it's going to degrade over time, return back to the soil as fertilizer. If more people had appreciation on a few quality pieces of clothing instead of hordes of cheaply made stuff, yes. Sounds good, doesn't work. Color fades from washing and sunlight. Plus, not everyone sits indoors all the time. It's better to mix between quality and cheap stuff because the color on the cheap stuff fades and you tear it up. You buy more for 50 cents or $50, whatever. So, P.O. says, I'm not talking about men on a gapping hole. I'm talking about exactly what you're saying about seams and buttons and simple things. We live in a culture that treats clothing as disposable because most people don't have the will or know how to mend simple things. I agree with that. And, anyways, it costs $20 to change oil. That was 2 years ago. Now it costs me about $100 at a local oil changing station because I haven't got the strength to do it as I'm aging. But I do keep track of my mileage on the vehicle. I do keep tabs on the mileage. I keep an eye on how often it has to be done. Um, anyways, now popular obscurity said that's true. There's ways to get someone else to do it for you. That's really not my point. Now, I'm not saying everyone should get their oil changed. Do it themselves. It takes time. Tools is always not always cheaper. I had two bad experiences at shops. One guy forgot to take the oil ring off and popped another on there. Massive oil leak. The second guy cracked the lid on the air filter housing. Didn't tell me. So, two strikes you're out on that. Now, Mischief of Rat says changing the oil is a pain in the backside. Not hard, it's just a pain. You have to do something with the used oil at the end because you can't just pour it in the drain. I had to pay. I pay to have my oil changed. The consumer has to pay for disposal of the used motor oil anyways. Do you see where I'm coming at? The consumer has to pay for the disposal. They have to pay for brand new oil. They have to pay for the labor. They're going to have to pay for the filter. I would never pay anyone to replace wipers or an air filter. Those services priced to rip people off on air filter might be $14. Take 2 minutes, 2 simple snaps to get it open and replaced. Close it, back up. Autoplace will charge you $25 for the filter and tell you install is free. It's not. They charge you too much for the part. Windshield wipers are the same thing. So, now, so, anyways, I go to an oil shop that's reputable, and I've been going to them for a pretty good while. And anyways, and I got over 300,000 miles on the vehicle I operate, and I put fully synthetic oil in it since it's high mileage. So anyways, now I'm gonna have to do my headlights. I'm gonna have to have them adjusted, etc. Now, I'm gonna put this here and here on I'm gonna put this link. Now, the mama is teaching her son how to cook and clean. Now, this is right here. You're gonna have to follow me on this. Sabes cocinar? Can you cook? Okay. Anyways. Now for the men out there that are actually going, many men have decided to opt out of dating, opt out of looking for a female partner because the dating is a mess. It's a mess out there, seriously. And I can feel immense cultural pressure weighing down on my shoulders. Well, the mother had children too early. and she could have actually got her someone decent, to pass more knowledge to her kids. Now, when a woman becomes a single mom, okay, when she becomes a single mom, then she's got weight on her shoulders to teach her kids basic cooking and cleaning skills. This is part of survival. Because her mom's not here, then who's going to look after the person that needs to be tended to? Who's going to look after them? I mean, you can't put them in a state hospital, let the state take care of them, right? So, I can feel the immense cultural pressure weighing on my shoulders. The pressure is worthy of a relationship based on my domestic abilities. Despite I'm brilliant, creative, adventurous, loving, caring, all she wanted to know was I want to have kids and know how to cook. I looked that woman straight in her eyes and told her that I did, in fact, know how to cook. That a woman like me, accusation against my free spirit, dynamic nature, did indeed want to have children. Yet none of that made me worthy of her son. So, when their abuela, Spanish for grandma, come to visit, I can sense her scolding eyes fixed on Amaris 12 and Ariella 10, watching to see well I'm training them. She questions their cleaning abilities, asks if they know how to cook. She makes comments that Nasser 4 won't need to clean because he's the only boy, and that girls will clean after him. This is a traditional woman who looked at a kid and said that. Then this female looked the woman straight in her eyes, told her that my daughters are wild, brilliant, creative, powerful beings. That virtue cannot be measured by household chores. And she's right. And she also set her straight with another glare and let her know that girls will not be given the responsibility to clean up after a brother simply because he's a boy. That Nasser will learn to clean up after himself and others. Now, this is very important. We have parents that jump on social media like TikTok and twerking, and what kind of example are you setting for your children? Social media has destroyed families because it's not being used properly. For many women from black and brown communities, there's a great burden placed upon us for domestic goddesses. We're judged on how we keep house, how many meals we prepare. If we display motherly instincts, we are also expect to train our daughters in this manner that they too be desirable to a man. So men and boys rarely get to expect to have domestic abilities in order to be desirable to a potential partner. Untidy men are often laughed at and told what they need is a girlfriend to clean up after them. See, that right there is not very healthy. That's not good. While messy women who are scorned and told they will never find a mate. I want my son to know how to cook, clean for the sake of his own independence. I also teach him that domestic work, child rearing are his responsibilities to share with a partner, not theirs alone. That's very good. That's, I made a conscious race of feminist on him in his masculine identity. That's masculine includes cooking, cleaning with household chores, crying whenever he needs to, playing with cars, superheroes, being wild, rambunctious. Is also playing baby dolls, cooking, and playing in his play kitchen. So the single mother here decided to say, I want him to be a man who can cook dinners a few nights per week, do laundry, load a dishwasher. Most of the time, we live in a society where, men get booted out of the house of mom and dad, okay? They don't know what to do. Seriously, they don't know what to do. And most apartment comes with dishwashers. Don't know how to operate a dishwasher? Ask the landlord and maybe get an instruction manual to learn how to work the buttons. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this. I'm gonna go ahead and I want to raise him from a toddler into a man who can express emotions, who is comfortable in his feelings, has a natural paternal instinct. No, we need to teach him how to be logical, not emotional. If you don't get your emotions in check, you can do some severe destruction. A man who would change diapers and kiss ouchies. No. Need to put that down. Put his book down and respond to a crying baby and hand his partner the conditioner on wash days. Actually, no need to learn how to cook dinner a few nights a week, do laundry, load the dishwasher. You will never expect to be an unequal player in a relationship in the domestic work and child rearing. That right there should help teach his son to be the same way, lead by example. This sounds amazing yet, but radical, quite ambitious. I would say that this is ambitious, but it's impossible. There's simple actions that take normalized boys in helping in the domestic activities. This is for survival. This is not because of a social ideology, okay? And to be honest with you, and this right here will help develop. It will help develop. Now, I'm gonna go back to show him how to cook and everything in the kitchen and clean. Okay? A emasculated man refuses to do chores except cooking. Do you know what emasculated means, right? When a man who is threatened, a man reacts by doing less housework. Only exception is meal preparation. With that logic, he'll starve. He wants somebody to cook for him. For some men, it's a scary time. Men lost jobs in recession, and the women outnumber them in college campuses. Yes, that's true. Some are predicting, in fact, we're witnessing the end of men. If a war breaks out, guess who's going to call to the front line? Men. Okay? As it's been written, men are responding to their slippery place in the social hierarchy by supporting whoever whose rhetoric harkens to a less progressive, more traditional time. But another way men react to having their masculinity threatened is stealthier. They do fewer chores according to analysis. Now, do fewer chores you need to, now, men, you're going to have to pick up your end of this. Because if you don't do this, you know what's going to happen? Do you want to know what's going to happen if you don't do this? You're going to starve. And come on. You know how to take your money and go out and buy food. You need to shop for food, okay? You need to learn to prepare stuff in the kitchen, okay? Can you crack you some eggs open and scramble them and put a little butter in the skillet and scramble you up some eggs and onions and green peppers and tomatoes and other vegetables and make you a nice little breakfast? Actually, get you some sausage and brown it, drain the grease out of it, and throw that in with the eggs and the vegetables. And you got you a decent meal right there. Protein, fiber, all of that good stuff. And then you just go to this sink and wash your dishes and let it air dry. You see, it wasn't that hard to do. Okay, overall, U.S. women clean more than men do. American men did an average of 15 minutes of housework each day, while women did 45. All right, most men, 77%, did no housework any given day. Let me tell you something. When I was with one of my ex-girlfriend of 13 years, me and her went shopping. Me and her did house chores. There's some, because she was disabled, there were some things she couldn't not do, I did. So we took on the chores together. We worked together as anyways. It is very simple to do. Because if you don't do this, who are you going to feed? You need to get you a piece of paper and stuff to write down your stuff, to learn how to do things. Now, look at this. Pushing a vacuum cleaner might seem effort, but post a picture expertly grilled steak on Instagram, then you practically, it's this here could tell everyone that you can do housework. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and skip over here. I'm going to go to Quora. Now, this man has raised 2 children, both know how to cook, 6 years ago. Now, we used to have a Boy Scouts. Now they merged with the Girl Scouts, became one Scouts. And I don't know how are they going to teach the little children how to survival mode. You need to learn this. Cooking basic meals, eggs, toast, stuff. Clean it up, wash the dishes from those meals. Change a tire if you drive. Checking the oil and other fluids if you drive. Sweeping and mopping the floor. Washing and drying clothes. Basic first aid. Listen, I can do all of this. All right? I do all of this. As a functional adult, I do everything like this. He was a Boy Scout for several years. Actually taught many of these skills to the boys in various programs of scouting. It was cooking and cleaning up while camping and backpacking. Skills are the same. They weren't gourmet meals, but they got the concept across. It was not just heating up a can of chili either. And it's never too late to learn. If you're still living at home, hang around the kitchen and help your parents cook meals, clean up. You will learn a lot quickly. If not living at home, help anyone you can find preparing meals. For parents, I think children as young as 4 or 5 can help in the kitchen. As soon as they reach the counter standing on the chair, they can stir things with a big wooden spoon. They can wash dishes, non-breakable, same age. They just have to be able to reach the sink. Usually makes them enough mess, but you doubt whether their help is worth it, but it is long term. So, now, of course, Christine said you should learn how to cook first. It means you don't have to be dependent like a child upon others on your daily meals. There's nothing more pitiful than those men who sit around by yelling for someone to feed them like big bully babies. She's right. Secondly, because you learn to cook meals which are delicious to your own taste and unobtainable in any other way. Takeout food prepared in restaurants lacks the love and care of home cook, but costs more. She's right. Thirdly, because women are rightly impressed by men who can cook them delicious meals. Fourthly, you should become a parent. Sharing the meal-making duties with the family workload gives you the opportunity to be more of a direct use of a parent than to your children. Cooking can be a minimum of 3 or 4 dishes, which you know how to make off heart dishes, which combine into a 3-course celebration meal or taken as individual meals. And actually, I've learned how to cook some stuff from allrecipes.com. And actually, I made some homemade turkey pot pie, homemade chicken pot pie. I never got a bite. The other person ate it like it was going out of style. So, yes. It's like riding a bicycle. Once you learn, you never forget. Now, so, some good women out there, okay, you can clean, cook, do repairs around the house, and anyways, I mean, I know a female who refuses to do this. And this right here, the woman needs to learn how to pick up her own weight and cook for herself. So, you need to learn self-survival. All right? All right, I'm going to go ahead and that right there, that gentleman in the kitchen, he's preparing his own lunch. And look at him, he's built. And teach your son that cooking and cleaning is basically not gender roles. Amen to that. So, this is a short video. Both genders, men and women, need to learn to cook. Not no cheap ramen noodle soup, not no cheap canned chili and all that malarkey. Cook some real stuff. Buy you some chicken. Get you some real butter. Saute the chicken really good All right. And before you know it, you know, you can get some nice ideas. Get you go to the website, type in the dish you want to make it. It's not that hard to do. They'll give you directions. You might have some stuff in the pantry to do it with. Anyway, thanks for watching. You have a good one. And peace out.